Hey guys, welcome or hopefully welcome back to Rad Roots Yoga. My name is Brittany and I will be the facilitator for your practice today. We're going to go ahead and get started at the top of our mat in mountain pose or Tadasana. Feet are about hip width distance apart. We're slightly pulling the shoulder blades together in the back body. Palms are facing forward. Relaxing the muscles in the face and the jaw. Really grounding through our feet, through all 10 toes. Taking a few moments here to settle in. Taking a little bit longer inhales and a little bit longer exhales. Your next inhale, palms and gaze are going to meet overhead. We're going to grab onto the right wrist as we step the right foot off the left side of our mat behind the left leg. And we're stretching out the right side body. Inhale back to center. Right hand grabs the left wrist this time. Left foot steps off the right side of our mat behind the right leg. And then we're stretching the left side body. Inhaling back to center. We're going to reach up and out of the waist. Exhale, dive the heart forward. Uttanasana. Go ahead and clasp on opposite elbows here. Find a gentle sway and a little bounce back and forth. Whatever feels nice. On our next inhale, we're going to halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to plant the hands and we're going to hop back into our chaturanga, making sure to land with bent arms, pulling the elbows into the rib cage, landing light on the toes. Inhale, the heart up and through. Flexing through the glutes to protect the low back. Exhale, roll over the toes, send the hips up and back. Downward facing. First downward facing dog of practice. Maybe you pedal out the feet. Maybe find a gentle sway of the hips. Waking the body up in all the right places. On your next inhale, we're coming up onto the toes. We're going to bend into the knees and we're going to step, hop our handstand our way to the top of the mat, landing in our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, curling in and rolling up the back body. One vertebrae at a time. Neck and head are last to lift. Palms and gaze meet. Reaching up and out of the waist. Exhale, dive the heart forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands, hop to chaturanga. Inhale the heart up and through. Exhale, roll over the toes and the hips up and back. Downward facing. On your next inhale, we're coming up onto the toes. We're going to bend into the knees, sending the hips towards the heels and the heart towards the thighs. You can step hop our handstand. Your way to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Slowly and articulately rolling up the back body. Palms and gaze meet. Exhale, dive the heart forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands, hop back to chaturanga. Inhale the heart up and through. Exhale, roll over the toes. Downward facing. Let's have one full cycle of breath here together, in through the nose. And exhale, letting it go through the mouth. On your next inhale, we're coming up onto the toes, bending into the knees. Step, hop, or handstand your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Palms and gaze meet. From here, we're going to draw the right knee up and into the chest. We're going to extend the right leg out long in front of us. And then we're going to lever the body and the right leg all the way down and back, all the way until our hands plant to the mat. From here, we're going to hop off of the left toes back into our three-leg downward dog. So hands plant, and we're hopping back. Right toes are still lifted in our three-legged downward dog. On your next inhale, we're bringing right knee to nose. And then we're going to open up towards the right side of our mat, finding the outside edge of our left foot. Right fingertips are up towards the sky in our side plank. From here, we're going to tap the right toes off the left side of our mat behind the left leg. And then we're going to bend into the right knee and the right elbow, bringing them together and tapping them. Then we're going to extend the right arm back out straight. We're going to tap the right toes to the mat in front of the left leg. Then we're going to bring the elbow and the knee back together. We're going to tap behind the left leg. We're going to bring the knee and the elbow back together. Then we're going to tap in front. Bring the knee and the elbow back together. And then we're going to rotate back to our three-legged plank. We still have that right knee drawn in to the chest. Then we're going to lower the knee, the right knee, to just to hover above the mat, and then press back up. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to send the right toes back to meet the left in our plank pose. We're going to exhale, halfway lower, pulling the elbows into the rib cage, chaturanga. We're going to press right back up to plank. Exhale, halfway lower. Inhale, press up. Last time, exhale, halfway lower. Inhale, press up. Send the hips up and back. Downward facing. On your next inhale, we're coming up onto the toes. We're bending into the knees. You can step, hop, or handstand your way to the top. We'll meet in our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Palms and gaze meet. Exhale, dive the heart forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands, hop back to chaturanga. Inhale the heart up and through. Exhale, roll over the toes and the hips up and back. Downward facing. Inhale, we're coming up onto the toes, bending into the knees, sending the hips towards the heels and the heart towards the thighs. You can step, hop, or handstand to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Palms and gaze meet. That sequence on the left side. Left knee pulls up into the chest. We're going to extend that left leg out straight. And we're going to lever the upper body forward. Bring the left leg down, back, and up all the way until our hands plant to the mat. And with one big hop, or several small ones, we're hopping to the back of the mat, landing in our three-leg downward dog, left toes up. On your exhale, we're bringing left knee to nose. We're gonna open up towards the left side of our mat this time, finding the outside of the right foot. Left fingertips are coming up. From here, we're going to tap the floor behind us with the left toes. Then we're gonna bend into the left elbow, bringing left knee, left elbow together. And we're extending, tapping left toes in front of the right leg. Then we're bringing the knee and elbow back together. Tapping behind, bring knee and elbow together. Then we're rotating back to our three-legged plank. Left knee is still drawn in towards the chest. We're gonna lower the left knee to just to hover above the mat for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna send the left toes back to meet the right in our plank pose. On our exhale, we're gonna halfway lower. Inhale, press right back up. Exhale, halfway lower, chaturanga. Inhale to press up. Exhale, halfway lower. Inhale to press up. Send the hips up and back. Downward facing. On your next inhale, we're gonna come up onto the toes. We're gonna bend into the knees. You can step popper handstand to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Palms and gaze meet. Exhale, dive the heart forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands, hop back into chaturanga. Inhale the heart up and through. Exhale, send the hips up, downward facing. On your next inhale, we're coming up onto the toes, bend into the knees, step popper handstand, the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, palms and gaze meet. We're gonna do that sequence one more time on each side. When you're ready, we're pulling right knee up into the chest. We're gonna straighten through the right leg. We're gonna lever the upper body and the right leg down, back. The right toes are up until we plant the hands to the mat. We're kicking off the left toes until we land in our three-leg down. Exhale, bringing right knee to nose. We're opening up towards the right side of our mat on the outside of the left foot. Right fingertips are up. We're going to take the right toes, tap them off the mat behind the left leg. Then we're bending into the right elbow, bringing the knee and elbow together. We're going to tap the right toes in front of the left leg. We're bringing the knee and elbow back together. Tap the toes behind. Bring it back together. Rotate back to center to our three-legged plank. We're lowering the knee for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step the right toes back to meet the left in our plank. Exhale, halfway lower chaturanga. Inhale to press up. Exhale, halfway lower. Inhale to press up. Last time, exhale. Inhale to press up. Send the hips up and back. Downward facing. On your inhale, we're coming up onto the toes. Bend into the knees. Step hopper handstand. We meet in forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, curling in and rolling up. Palms and gaze meet. Here we go on the left side, drawing the left knee up and into the chest. extending the left leg long. We're levering the left leg down, back, and up as the upper body levers forward until you can plant the hands to the mat. With one hop or several little ones, we're hopping back into our three-legged downward facing. Exhale, left knee to nose. We're gonna open up towards the left side of our mat in our side plank. We're gonna tap the left toes behind us, behind the right leg. Then we're gonna bend into the knee and the elbow, bringing them together. We're gonna tap the left toes in front, the right leg. Bring the knee and elbow back together. Tap behind. Bring the knee and elbow back together. Rotate back to center to our three-legged plank. And we're doing the knee taps for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step the left toes back, plank pose. Exhale, halfway lower chaturanga. Inhale to press up. Exhale, halfway lower. Inhale to press up. Exhale, halfway lower. Inhale to press up. Send the hips up and back. Downward facing. On your inhale, we're coming up onto the toes. We're gonna bend into the knees. You can step up or handstand. We'll meet in forward fold at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rolling up. Palms and gaze meet. Here we'll start our second sequence. When you're ready, we're drawing the right knee up and into the chest. This time we're gonna send the right toes back, gently lowering them to the mat in our crescent lunge. Back of the right thigh is pressing up towards the sky. Maybe you bend a little bit deeper into the left knee. We're gonna drop the hands to frame out the left foot. We're gonna straighten through that front left leg. Letting the upper body waterfall over the left thigh. Maybe the left toes lift from the mat. If they're lifted, we're gonna go ahead and lower the left toes back to the mat. We're gonna start bending in to the right knee until it's just to a hover above the mat. And then we're gonna try maybe lifting the hands from the mat. We're gonna go ahead and lift all the way up in this funky shape. So right knee is bent, left leg is straight. We're gonna go ahead and straighten through the right leg, flexing through the right glute at the top. Then we're gonna bend back into the right knee, lowering it to a hover. Straighten back through that leg. Last time, lowering it to a hover. Then pressing back up. We're gonna turn towards the right side of our mat as our hips find the right heel in our skandasana towards the back of our mat. We're gonna slowly move through center here, slow and controlled, until we find skandasana on top of the left heel. Right toes are up towards the sky. And then we're gonna move back through center to our skandasana on top of the right heel. If your heel is not touching the mat in your skandasana, that is just fine. We all start somewhere and we work to create space where there is not. From here, we're gonna press up into our warrior two. So arms are coming out to a T. We're bending into the left knee, straightening through the right. Fingertips are extended long in opposite directions. Maybe you bend a little bit deeper into the front left knee. Then we're gonna send the hips back to the right heel in our Skandasana. Press right back up to our warrior two. Then we're gonna reverse the warrior. Right hand finds the back of the right thigh. Left fingertips come up and over. From here, we're gonna cartwheel the hands down to frame out the left foot. Step the left toes back, plank pose. Exhale, halfway lower chaturanga. Inhale, the heart pulls up and through. Exhale, downward facing. On your next inhale, we're gonna come up onto the toes, bend into the knees, and make your way to the top. Finding our forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Palms and gaze meet. That sequence on the left side. When you're ready, we're drawing the left knee up and into the chest. Then we're gonna send the left toes slow and controlled, gently delivering them to the back of the mat in our crescent lunge. Back of the left thigh is pressing up towards the sky. Maybe you bend into the right knee a little bit more. We're gonna drop the hands to frame out the right foot. We're just straighten through the right leg. Letting the upper body waterfall over the right thigh. Maybe the right toes lift from the mat. If they're lifted, we're dropping the right toes back down. We're gonna start to bend into the left knee. And maybe the hands lift from the mat. Upper body's gonna continue lifting. So we're in this funky shape. Ooh, little wobbly. Straight through the right leg, bent into the left. We're gonna press straight through the left leg, flexing through the glutes at the top. Then we're gonna bend back into the left knee. Straighten back through. Bend into the left knee. Straighten back through. We're gonna turn towards the left side of our mat. Hips are gonna find the left heel at the back of our mat. Right toes are up in our Skandasana. Maybe hands are to heart center. Maybe they're on the mat to help with balance. We're gonna move through center, slow and controlled. Hips are finding the right heel. Left toes are up. Inhale back through center. Skandasana to the back of the mat. From here, we're pressing up to our warrior two. Fingertips extended long in opposite directions. Gaze is over the right fingertips. Maybe you bend a little bit deeper into the right knee. And we're sending the hips back to Skandasana on the left heel. Inhale back up. Warrior two. Reverse your warrior. Left hand finds the back of the left thigh. Right fingertips come up and over. Inhale to cartwheel the hands down to frame out the right foot. Step the right foot back. Plank pose. Exhale, halfway lower chaturanga. Inhale the heart up and through. Exhale, down dog. On your next inhale, come up onto the toes. This time we're just gonna walk the feet to the top of the mat, one at a time, getting a good stretch. Down the back body, taking our time, getting to the top of our mat. Eventually meeting in our forward fold at the top. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Slowly and articulately rolling up the back body. Palms and gaze meet. We're gonna do that sequence one more time on each side before we start to slow it down a little bit. When you're ready, we are going to draw the right knee up and into the chest. We're gonna send the right toes to the back of the mat. Gently landing in our crescent lunge. We're going to drop the hands to frame out the left foot, straighten through the left leg. Maybe left toes lift. Lowering left toes if you lifted. We're bending into the right knee. Maybe hands lift from the mat. We're going to go ahead and lift the upper body all the way up. From here, we're straightening through the right leg, flexing the glutes at the top. We're bending back into the right knee. Flexing through the top. Bending. Straightening for the last time. Then we're going to turn towards the right side of our mats as our hips find the right heel, skandasana to the back. Left toes are up. We're moving through center, skandasana to the top of our mat. Right toes up. Inhaling back through center, left toes up. From here, we're pressing up into our warrior two. Then we're sending the hips right back down, skandasana to the back. Inhale back up, warrior two. Reverse your warrior. Cartwheel the hands to frame out the left foot. Step the foot back, plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale the heart up and through. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, come up onto the toes, bend into the knees. Step, hopper, handstand. To the top, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Palms and gaze meet. Exhale, dive the heart forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands. Hop back, chaturanga. Inhale the heart up and through. Exhale, send the hips up and back. Inhale, come up onto the toes, bend into the knees, step hopper handstand. We'll meet in forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Palms and gaze meet. That sequence, left side last time. When you're ready, we're drawing the left knee up and into the chest. Then we're sending the left toes back to the back of the mat, landing in our crescent lunge. From here, we're going to drop the hands to frame out the right foot, straighten through the right leg. Maybe the right toes lift. Lowering right toes if they are lifted. We're bending into the left knee. Maybe the hands lift. Upper body lifts all the way. We're going to straighten through the left leg. Then we're bending back into the left leg. Straightening through. Exhale, lower. Straighten through. Turning towards the left side of our mats. Hips find the left heel at the back of our mat. Right toes up. Moving through center. Skandasana to the top of our mat. Moving back through center. Skandasana over the left heel. Inhaling up to warrior two. Exhaling back down to Skandasana. Inhaling back up to warrior two. Reverse your warrior. Cartwheel the hands down to frame out the right foot. Step the foot back, plank pose. Exhale, halfway lower. Inhale the heart up. Exhale, send the hips up and back. Downward facing. On your next inhale, come up onto the toes, bend into the knees, make your way to the top. Meeting in our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Palms and gaze meet. When you're ready, we're going to move our feet out just a bit towards the edges of our mats. We're going to go ahead and sink the hips all the way down towards the heels. Finding our yogi squat, hands to heart center. From here, right hand is going to find the floor. We're opening up the left arm, left fingertips are up. And we're gonna bend into the left elbow, bringing it around. Maybe you get the bind around the right knee. Then from here, we're gonna press to standing on the left leg. So maybe you come up onto the right toes and move that leg in just a little bit closer. And then you shift the weight all the way into the left foot and press to standing. We're gonna lower right back down the same way that we came in. Slow and controlled, back down to our yogi squat. We're gonna release the bind. We're gonna plant the hands, and we're gonna play with your option, a crow or a crane. Knees are gonna find the armpits and the back of the arms. We're gonna shift the body weight forward into the palms and the fingertips evenly. Maybe you play with lifting one foot from the mat. Maybe then you lift the other. We're gonna hold here for a second longer than you'd like to. Building strength. The next place that we're gonna meet is in our downward facing. So you can either hop back to chaturanga, you can step back, whatever you like, whatever you got in your practice. I'm gonna go ahead and hop back. Inhaling the heart up. Exhale, downward facing. On your next inhale, come up onto the toes. Bend into the knees, step, hop or handstand. Meet in forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Palms and gaze meet. All right, left side, we're gonna walk the feet out towards the edges of our mats. Then we're gonna slowly sink the hips down all the way to our heels. Bring hands to heart center, Namalasana yogi squat. Left hand is gonna find the ground where you're at this time. Right fingertips are twisting up and back. Then we're gonna start to bend into that right arm, sending it behind us. Maybe you get the bind around the left knee. Then again, we're gonna press to standing on the right leg this time. So maybe you come up onto the left toes and take a tiny step towards the center of the mat with that leg. And then we're pressing to standing. We're gonna come out the same way that we entered, slow and controlled, lowering the left toes back to the mat in our yogi squat. We're gonna release the bind if you have it. Bring hands back to heart center. We're gonna plant the hands. We're playing with crow or crane once again. Knees find the back of the arms or the armpits. You shift the body weight forward into the palms and the fingertips evenly. Again, maybe you play with lifting one foot from the mat and then the other. Maybe you play with straightening through the arms. And we're holding. And we'll meet in downward facing. You can hop back to chaturanga, step back to chaturanga, whatever you'd like. Inhale the heart up and through. Exhale, send the hips up and back. Downward facing. On the next inhale, come up onto the toes, bend into the knees, step, hop or handstand. to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, slowly rolling up the back body. Palms and gaze meet. Exhale, dive the heart forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. We're gonna plant the hands last time here, but I want to encourage you to play with an inversion. Maybe it's a handstand, maybe it's pincha, maybe it's just a crow or a crane again, which is wonderful. But I want you to be playful and have fun with it. This is supposed to be a place of growth, a place of experimentation, and really finding your edge. So don't be afraid to fall out and get right back in. It's your practice, it's your body, and just make the most of it. I'm gonna play with a handstand, so I'm kicking up. The next place that we will meet is in our downward facing dog. Let's have one full cycle of breath here together, in through the nose. And exhale, letting it go through the mouth. On your next inhale, we're coming up onto the toes, bend into the knees, step, hop. Handstand to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Root to rise. Palms and gaze meet. From here, we're gonna walk the feet out towards the edges of our mat once again. We're gonna sink the hips down towards our Malasana Yogi squat. And we're gonna lower the hips all the way to the mat. From here, we're finding our boat pose. Maybe shins are parallel to the mat. Maybe legs are straightened. We're gonna lower for 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. We're gonna plant the bottoms of the feet as close to the glutes as possible as we lie all the way on our backs. From here, we're gonna slightly press the hips up until we can interlace the fingers underneath the pelvis, pressing the hips up high towards the sky in our bridge pose. Drawing the inner thighs together, flexing through the glutes. And we'll release back down. Using the strength of the core, we're gonna send the feet up and over. Maybe your toes find the ground behind you in your plow pose. From here, slow and controlled, we're gonna roll all the way to our seated forward fold. Taking a few cycles of breath here on our own. Taking note of how we feel at the end of our practice. Your next inhale, we're reaching long through the fingertips, using the strength of the core, keeping the heels glued to the mat, flowing all the way down to our backs. We're gonna draw both knees into the chest, one at a time. Go ahead and extend the left leg back out long. Arms are to a T or a cactus, your preference. Then we're dropping the right knee off the left side of our mat. in our supine twist. Wringing out the midsection, the organs. Inhale back to center. Extend the right leg out long. Pull the left knee up and into the chest. And we're dropping the left knee off the right side of our mat. My back just popped so loud. I don't know if y'all could hear that, but it was super loud. Inhale back to center. We're gonna draw both knees into the chest. Head and shoulders are gonna lift from the mat. We're wrapping the arms around the knees, getting a compression squeeze as we lower the head and shoulders back to our mat. If there are any other postures you'd like to add to your practice, please feel free to do so now. If not, we are heading for Shavasana. We're gonna extend both legs out long, heels together, big toes out. Arms are down by our side bodies, palms facing up. Pulling the shoulder blades slightly together on the back body. Eyes are closed down, relaxing the muscles in the face and the jaw. Thanking yourself for all the work that you have just put in. Thanking yourself for showing up today. We're going to take one last full cycle of breath together. The largest inhale and exhale that we have taken all practice. Inhaling through the nose. Holding at the top. And exhaling through the mouth, letting it go. As your body finds its natural rhythm of breathing, go ahead and drop in. For now, this is where I will leave you. I want to thank you so much for choosing to spend time here today. The light in me honors, acknowledges, and respects the light in each of you. Until next time, namaste.